and then share my screen. There we go. Well, welcome, ladies. I am going to talk to y'all about our updates for our committees. Want to go over real quickly. Jennifer Costello, who's on the call, is our treasurer. Tiffany Wondrow is one of our board of directors and is our membership of marketing. Stacy Downs and Rebecca Wood are our PD and E committee. Nominating committee is Jennifer Camargo. Sandy Wick. Oh, and Jennifer Camargo is our directors. Memory Bagsby is our WIC Week chair, and she's got a lot planned. You'll see later on. Sandy Wick is our civic chair, and we have a safety committee, which is Kelsey Unland, and Memory is our secretary. So the January financials have been approved by the board, and copies are available to members at request. You just have to ask Jennifer. Membership of marketing is going, Tiffany is, when she gets back from New Orleans and gets settled again back in life, she is planning to do a membership perks video. Some things are, we have a Zoom account as a chapter that you could be available for use, first come, first serve, and some other things. And she's got some other things planned that she's gonna tell us more about when we get going. There is something that is brand new. It won't start till February 25th. It's going to run in the ENR, which is engineering, the ENR magazine. What it is because of WIC Week, March, the whole month of March, but it starts February 25th through March 31st. You can experience being a member for only $129. And it's only, of course, available to brand new members. You experience everything such as discounts and Industry Network, and there's a career center on our national website, and also local, regional, and national events, which local events are what we're doing kind of now and hopefully in person. But you won't be able to vote. And we've got some things coming up that we will want women to vote on. Professional development and education. Got a little bit of background noise. Let me make sure we're all. Okay, I think we're all there now. So professional development education. I know y'all have seen that we ran it in December and in the month of February. We are doing our third and final round of selling bottles of wine with gift cards to Demos's. The cost is going to be $50. We have 9 of those. And with that, we have 15 Cabernet left and 13 Chardonnay left. I've adjusted the website where you can look at it and you can buy one for $15. You can buy one with a gift card for $50. Like I said, one for 15 or 2 for 25. We're trying to reach a goal of 1 scholarship, and that's $1,000 scholarship, and we're almost there. This is our spring wine sale, which, speaking of which, this beautiful flyer, Kayla White and her wonderful, I couldn't do this. This is the flyer. You will be seeing an email by itself coming out pretty soon. Nominating committee, Jennifer Camargo has got her committee going and is ready to start calling on y'all. So be on the lookout for either an email or a phone call about being on our board. You'll be given the duties and what is required. Being a board of directors, that's how I knew how to do, and I rose up through the ranks, and you see behind the scenes and how things go and do. Just think about it. Think about what it's a good thing. If you want to go ahead and be on the board and want to be one of the positions, then you can go ahead and get a hold of Jennifer Camargo yourself. Now, Memory, I'm going to let you go through WIC Week, woman. You got this going.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, hang on just a second. I'm having issues navigating screens. Okay, can you see and hear me now? With the limitations that we've been given with COVID, we've tried to do some really fun and exciting events for WIC Week, and have only gotten one real in live person event, but I think that it's going to be an amazing event that everybody gets to enjoy. If you've never had the opportunity to enjoy Cheekwood, Cheekwood in March is fantastic. It has all kinds of daffodils, all kinds of tulips, and we are going to do our proclamation reading at Cheekwood. That's going to be on Monday. Don't want to forget about Acts of Kindness Bingo that's going to start on Sunday. If you have signed up for Acts of Kindness Bingo, you will be emailed a bingo card. And there are two different versions of the bingo card. So you'll be emailed a bingo card, and it has random acts of kindness. In order to mark your spot on your bingo card, you have two options. One is to take a selfie of you doing the random acts of kindness, posting it to our Facebook page, along with the hashtag NAWIC or WIC Week 2021 on our NAWIC Nashville Facebook page. If you don't have social media and don't feel comfortable with that, you can email that to either myself or Nicole Jenkins, and we can count that. And prizes will be awarded for each bingo, and there will be a special prize awarded if you have a complete blackout. So each one of the bingo spots are things that are attainable. Some are a little bit more difficult than others. So we will make you work for some of them. Some of them's a little bit easier. So I'm really excited about that. After we have the bingo, we have Cheekwood and Bloom. Also, what kind of is interesting for Cheekwood, I didn't bring this up as well, is it's also Women's History Month. So their exhibit in their museum is 100 Years of Women in Suffrage. So that's an exhibit that you'll be able to check out while you're at Cheekwood. They do have some limitations on spaces. That's why we had to break those out into different time slots. We can only allow 8 tickets at a time for our group, but we can all meet together as long as we're, outside socially distancing for the proclamation reading. But there's only a couple spots left, so if you are interested in that, jump on there and grab those quickly. On Tuesday, we have the virtual escape game. There's 2 sessions of that as well. So that will be really fun to do after hours for us to network and to see what we can come up with. I know we're a lot of smart women, and I've done the escape game once in real life, and unfortunately I did not escape. So I'm excited about our game that we're going to be promoting for WIC Week. Then we have on Wednesday a very special guest that's going to be speaking with us over a Zoom meeting. Doesn't cost you a thing. Her name is Becky Sharp, and she is the CEO of the International Scholarship and Tuition Services. And she's going to be talking about becoming the best version of you. I've heard Becky speak one other time. It's been about 3 years ago. And I have to say that I could use a dose of Becky Sharp at least once a week. She has to be the most encouraging, most positive person I've ever met. And to be a CEO at the level that she is, and to see how she interacts with and treats every single human that she's with, her employees, is just, it's mind blowing, and it's just a breath of fresh air, especially right now whenever there's so much hate and so much bad and so much just animosity. To get a dose of Becky, I really think it is worth your time to make sure you sign up to hear Becky Sharp speak on Wednesday. On Thursday, we have our virtual painting with a twist. I'm not sure if that one is full yet or not. Last I've seen, it was just about filled. There might have been a spot or two left. And to participate, you sign up for it. You go to Painting with a Twist, pick up your supplies, and then it starts at 6:00 p.m. You have everything there in front of you. And our painting, if you've not seen it, is super cute. It's a red high heel, or I'm sure you can make it whatever color high heel you want, next to a work boot. So it's very fitting for our women in construction. And then we will be closing out the week with the bingo closing event. We're going to recap, maybe make even a slideshow of the bingo events and everything, all the random acts of kindness that went on throughout the week, and present the awards for everybody. So I'm extremely excited for the participation. It looks like for this to be mostly virtual, our numbers are really, really high, which is super exciting to me because I know that if you're like me, I'm getting Zoom burned. I'm on Zoom meetings daily, multiple Zoom meetings daily. So to know that y'all are willing to participate in yet another Zoom meeting, but it's for a great cause, and I think that you're going to get something out of each and every day that first week. So I'm excited. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Memory. And one added note, I don't know if some of you are guests, so I don't know if you know, there's regions in NAWIC, and we are the Southeast region. Southeast region is actually doing on Wednesday the 10th, it'll be Wear Red Day, and they're going to be posting a really cool video that all of our WIC Week chairs were able to put together, and it's going to be really awesome. And they're going to email out a Zoom networking. So if you want to get to know and get to see other sisters in our other chapters, our Southeast is Florida, Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia. So do think about that. Next, we've got our civic and community, and that has been our Women Build for Habitat. We have our weekend. It's May the 1st. Volunteer sign up will go out next week. You will be getting an email from Sandy Wick on it, and you can sign up. It'll ask the same stuff. You have to DocuSign the waiver. It's also asking for t-shirt sizes. Tiffany Wondrow with CNR Services is doing the t-shirts for us, so we will all match. You will get a hard hat, gloves, safety glasses, and a face mask all the day of. So we can be COVID ready, all the above. The food is sponsored by DWC. They're going to provide the breakfast and the lunch for us, and you'll be working from 7 to 4 p.m. You will see more of it when you see the volunteer sign up go out. Our future meetings are in March, of course, Wick Week. You heard all the fun we're going to have. April the 8th, we're looking at a networking event where we can find a big enough space, even if it's a park, especially with all the snow, we're all going to want to get out as well, where we can just say hi and see each other in person and just maybe talk about how Wick Week was and how things are going and other items. And so we're going to try to do that. May 1st, of course, you heard, is the Habitat for Humanity. And then May 6th, we have a great speaker. She spoke at our Southeast Forum when we hosted it here in Nashville. Her name is Amy Hurdle, and she is a Tennessee native. In fact, she lives in Lebanon. She is going to talk about breadcrumbs and bubble wrap. Define and your position and value of becoming a driving force, which that is our theme this year, is be the driving force. And it has been a little difficult with COVID and rain and all weather and all the above, but I still think we've been a good force showing Nashville who we are. And I don't think we're the best kept secret anymore. I think the word's getting out, and that's all due to y'all. So you'll see more about what's going on with Amy Hurdle. Next, Julia Hahn will have our inspiration.
Hi, everyone. Hope everybody's doing okay today and staying warm. I have a quote that I had found a year or two ago, and I actually found it when I went back to school and earned a degree. And I love this quote, and it is, "The world is changed by your example, not your opinion." And that is by Paulo Coelho, who was a Brazilian song lyricist, but it had a very interesting life. So if you ever Google him or Google that quote again, "The world is changed by your example, not your opinion." And that certainly fits in well with this group, especially with the things that we're doing as far as habitat and showing that we're trying to help other people in the world. So thank you for allowing me to share that with you.
Thanks, Juliet. Well, ladies, Kim Willis came to me with, she is part of Leadership of Middle Tennessee. They had this gentleman, Don Sorensen, who taught to them. And the book is Big Hearted Leadership. When I was editing it a little bit, so it's just him and things like that, I listened to him, and he is very powerful, very powerful. We have, after the video, 3 books that we're going to give away as door prizes. The video is about 20 minutes long, but it's very worth it. And I embedded it in this, so I hope this is going to work.
Delighted to share with you what I believe are traits of a leader that are extraordinarily important and will help your businesses or your organizations or your churches or your not-for-profits, whatever you lead. I believe these traits that I'll walk you through are immensely important and will help your business, but more important than that, will make you a better person, I believe, through and through. I didn't start out writing a book. In fact, many don't know, and Ray doesn't know, is I'm actually dyslexic, and I have extraordinarily trouble with the written word, reading and writing. So I never started out writing a book, and my kids will joke with me and said, "Dad, you can't even read your own book." A little bit of truth to that. But what happened was I was interviewed for a cover story of a magazine here in St. Louis about my leadership style. And at the end of that interview, the author of that article said, "You know, there's a book here." And of course I said, "Are you kidding me? There's absolutely no book here." And for a period of long months, every Friday he'd come to my office, turn on a tape recorder, and we'd just talk. And out came this book. After it was all done, the publisher went through it, and they were waiting for me to okay it. It literally took me 6 months to finally say, okay, go ahead and publish it. I just thought, well, you know, I wasn't understanding the whole thing. I mean, how can I write a book? I don't consider myself an expert. What am I doing? This doesn't even make sense. And why would I put myself out there? Finally, I did, and I'm grateful I did. I'm proud of everything. Back to my kids read the book, and they literally said, "Dad, that's you. I can actually hear your voice in there." So, it is everything I believe in, and I really hope and pray that people take some of this in and make themselves better, and by that making their employees better and feel better about themselves. There's really 5 parts to this book in no particular order. I just want to touch on them, and then you guys, I'm happy to talk about anything and guide me where you want, ask questions, certainly at the end, but stop in the middle, and if you want me to dive deeper into something. Otherwise, I'm going to go fast. We have a short, only 1 hour, so I'm going to go really quick, but then I'm happy to go deep on anything. So the first part of the book, or the first chapter of the book, is around structure. And that doesn't seem like it has anything to do with the heart, but what it does is, our employees and all of us, you need a structure. You need to lean, I call it leaning up against something. It's, if in an absence of structure, how are you going to do anything? How are you going to get something done? People get frustrated. People don't know where to go, how to make decisions. So a structure is important. And if you're coming into an organization, the structure is fine, maybe adjust it, but bolster it up. A structure is what I say in the book is a heart, right? A heart needs a rib cage, vascular system, a skeletal system. That's so important. Your leadership skills and your leadership is not a position. Think of it as not as a position, but more of a dedication or a commitment to you improving your organization, improving the people that work for you, and improving the company, and by the way, improving yourself. Large, complex problems can't be solved by you, can't be solved by one person. You have to learn your way out of it, and learn your way out of it with your people. Another way I like to think of it is make sure it's a simple structure. Complexity doesn't necessarily help, and variation certainly doesn't help. Standardization and simplicity wins the day. If you think of those, those Rube Goldberg machines, the funny cartoons, or to start a cup of coffee in the morning, you have to, a ball rolls down a long chute and it knocks over some dominoes, and it does all those type of things, and then just to make a simple cup of coffee. That's the absolute inverse. Make it simple. Variation is costly, it's confusing, and it'll frustrate your employees. I think it was Abraham Lincoln that said something like, if you can't say it in one sentence, you don't understand it. If I'm giving him credit, he deserves it, so I don't care. But it's something like that. Go simple. As simple as what were we taught back when we were in grade school, or at least when Randy and I were in grade school? If you anything with fire, stop, drop, and roll. Simple as that. We all know that today. Just simply make it simple. There's a lot to be written and stated about lean, right? Lean. That's complex, but that's sort of the principle. Make it uncomplicated, and value your employees, and value their input, and increase their involvement. So that's sort of the first piece, is set a structure inside your organization that everyone can depend on. The second chapter I call Be Here and With. This is about communication. In this disembodied age, people want more in person versus less. We're all digital now, and unfortunately during COVID, we're extraordinary digital. And I believe that this is causing problems. If you're not here and with your people, that is a problem. Now, today in COVID, we can't. Suicides at an all-time high. Deaths in this nation are double what they've been before. This is a horrible time. So notwithstanding COVID, when we get through COVID, as I said, hopefully late spring and summer, you guys be with your employees. This is the most important thing. Telephones don't get it. This computer is not getting it. I would love to be in a room with you, seeing your body English, seeing your smiling faces, leaning in and talking with you, laughing. This isn't getting it, you guys. This is horribly frustrating for me and for you, and it is for your employees. You guys be here and with. You've never asked your spouse to marry him or her over the phone, right? This is not what it's about. You guys be out with your people. People want the human touch, not less of it. A lot of people say communication is the currency of leadership. I believe that. In fact, when I say a lot of people say that, I don't know who said that. I think it is extraordinarily important that you communicate, you over communicate, you take people to lunch. I used to have a policy when I ran a hospital and a clinic in Baton Rouge. I'd have a policy. I'd never returned a single phone call. I took all of my phone messages and walked to the doctor's area or the unit or wherever. Make all of your phone calls in person. Schedule regular feedback meetings. Hearing from your people of what their concerns are, they feel valued. They have input into the organization. One of my favorite sayings is, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Get the hint? You can't learn when you're talking. The loudest is generally, in my opinion, the weakest person. And also, what people should understand, and please understand, is silence should never be mistaken for weakness. Okay, just think about that for a little bit. And value dissent. Value dissent. Don't be afraid of people challenging you. Now you can challenge cynicism. Don't. Make sure that you separate dissent and cynicism apart from each other, and you should discuss and make sure that you aren't letting cynicism grow in your organization. But dissent is very helpful. One of my favorite lines in a movie is, "What we have here is failure to communicate," and that's a line that should resonate with everybody. Is where you are not communicating, and that's Cool Hand Luke, by the way. What we have here is failure to communicate. It's better said in his Southern accent, but if you're not communicating both ways, therein lies the challenge that you have as a leader. I'll keep going quick so we have time to chat. But my next chapter is being genuineness. And I love to say, be generous in your genuineness. You have to be true to yourself. You have to be who you are and do it with vigor. Find out who you are. Make sure you know who you are and do it with as much vigor as you possibly can. People will know if you're putting on airs. You know when your bosses are not being true to themselves. Be who you are. Offer yourself up as much as you possibly can, no more and no less, but be comfortable in your own skin. It's also important, you guys, to be very transparent with your faults. So I hate to tell you, but you're all not perfect. And I'm far from not perfect. But what is important is sharing and making sure you're open with your employees and your staff and the people around you about being transparent, and be transparent about your faults. Nothing helps with your communication when you're vulnerable about your faults. That opens up the communication. It disarms people around you, and you become more genuine when you are open with your feelings. And I also think you need to be open with your feelings when you're angry. So this is a little counter to what I think most of us have been taught about hiding your anger or keeping your anger to yourself. Now, I don't mean going off the handle, but if you're angry, if you're in a room with your employees and something has gone wrong, someone's made a mistake, you've made a mistake, something's not going right. I believe that if you hold that anger in or don't show that anger, that's not genuine. People will know that. People will say, this is a point in time where we should be angry. He should be angry at this situation. Be angry. Now, you can't go too far, of course, but show all of your emotions. If it's a sad time, be sad. If it's a time for you to show your anger, show your anger. But what it also does is also show your vulnerability. And by that, you'll create confidence with your people. Being vulnerable will disarm you. And when you're disarmed, you can have better communication with the people around you. It also establishes trust. If someone's got barriers up around them and you can tell it, how can you trust them? It'll also inspire people around you. If you're showing genuine emotion that reflects the situation or the time or the circumstances, it will inspire everyone and make everyone feel like they can trust you, and it's a deeper relationship and communication, which is everything to inspiring a workforce. And along with that, on the other side of that is showing your affections, showing you positive feelings, have humor, have hoorays, celebrate together. And a little bit in this age, it's sometimes challenging to do hugs. I'm a hugger. Everybody knows I'm a hugger. I can tell when I hug somebody if they don't like it. I let up a little bit, but it is important to show all parts of your personality and your relationship. It's, in my opinion, very extraordinarily important. Next is enthusiasm. So you guys, this to me is one of the key qualities of big-hearted leader. Show your enthusiasm. Be enthusiastic of what you're trying to communicate that day or what you're trying to do that day. Enthusiasm comes from a Greek word meaning something like God inside. God inside of you. And think about that for a second. It resonates with me in a big way. If you think about God inside you, that's enthusiasm. So I think it was Emerson that said something like, nothing's ever been achieved without enthusiasm. No greatness, maybe he said, no, nothing great has been achieved with enthusiasm. Great things don't happen without enthusiasm, but it's true. You can't accomplish much with your team unless you're enthusiastic and you believe in what you're doing, and you show yourself that way. Intensity is important. No intensity, no victory. Could you imagine a flat-footed coach trying to get the Predators to do something or whatever? They're not gonna be successful as our Blues, for instance. Enthusiasm is extraordinarily important. Think of, here's a principle I want you guys to think about. The law of thermodynamics. The law of thermodynamics says anything that's running is going to lose energy. So you drive your car, gas tank goes down. You go running, or if you guys go running, I'm not going to, but if anyone goes running, you're going to get tired and you're going to stop. If you're working, you're going to get tired at the end of the day. How many of us go home and go, wow, I am exhausted? So your employees are working hard, they're going to get exhausted. Okay, that's the law of thermodynamics. Okay, what are your jobs as leaders? Your jobs are to fill their tanks. As leaders, we have to fill our employees' tanks when they run low. We have to fill their energy up. That's our jobs. No two ways about it. No one is here, unless our bosses, if you have a boss, is to fill our tanks. But as a leader, we have to go and make sure our employees are energized. That's our job. We have to do that. So to do that, you have to take care of yourself, and no one's going to help you. So you have to find out what it means, or what, I'm sorry, not what it means, what fills your tank up so you can fill everyone else's tanks up. Okay, your car runs low on gas, you go to a gas station, but the gas station has big tanks and they've got to be filled too. So it has to come from above, has to come from you. So you have to, you guys, find out what fills your tank, what gets you excited, because then you got to take that passion, excitement, your heart, what makes you happy, you got to take that and go outside and get your employees happy. Never do I go outside that door right there and go, I need to suck the energy out of my employees. That's not the way it works, you guys. I got to go out that door, and I got to go down that hall, and I got to get my people excited. Not without, but with merit. So I've got to find out what gets me excited. Okay, and you do too. So a lot of people like a nice night with a book. I like to do this. That gets me excited. I need my friends. I need to go to a nice restaurant. I need to sit and have a nice meal, a nice bottle of wine. What gets me excited is being with people, being with my kids. My kids are my best friend. By the way, I got married 3 weeks ago, and my son was my best man. And if I could read his speech, we'd all be bawling our eyes out. My kids get me full of excitement, and I can go and charge everybody else up. That's our job. That's one of the bigger takeaways I can give to you. Next is Force for Good. And let me spend a little time unbundling this. I hope we're doing good on time. Looks like it, yeah. This is giving back, but giving back in a big, meaningful way. So we're all blessed. You know, I look in your backgrounds. We all have, looks like nice homes, nice offices. We've all got a lot of things, and that requires us to give back to the community. So, and I call it Force for Good, call it whatever you want, but you need to turn yourself and your organization into a force for good. Giving of yourself is a gift to yourself. All right, making sure that you help and give back is a prime key and trait of all of us. He who refreshes will be refreshed is a biblical term. The generous man will prosper. Is all awesome, important things. And again, it's a personal obligation to all of us to make sure that we give back. And what it also does for your organization and your people in the organization is gives that outside purpose that is extraordinarily important to all of us and all people. Is when you're outside, you're giving outside, you have a focus outside of just yourself, just your organization. It provides a deeper meaning and value to yourself and your organization. I've done this in many ways. I've gone out, as I hope and pray you all do, go out into your communities and find out there are parts of your community that are suffering deeply. And when you bring that calling back to your employees or back to your organization and say, hey, there are some children suffering in part of our community that don't have access to school or things or Christmas presents or this or that, and you do some sort of a drive, you do a fundraiser, you do a bake sale, you do a food drive, you do a gift drive, any of those type of things, you all know kind of what I'm talking about and what makes sense to you. But do those things, and it builds up great teamwork inside your organization, and it builds up a need and a will and a bigger presence than just your corporate bottom line or your customers, your clients, or in my case, patients. It builds up something deeper and more profound. And here's the reason why. This is a little off topic, but it's something you guys I've been thinking about and talking about for quite some time. I've actually given several commencement addresses on this, and I think it's something we all need to spend a little time thinking about. And Aristotle, don't mean, I'm not the smartest guy in this room, I promise you, but Aristotle was about 400, 500 BC, and he taught, I don't even think there was any writing even back then, but he would go around talking about a principle I think is really cool. And that is, he asked the question, why do we form communities? Why don't human beings just walk this planet all by ourselves? Why do we form community? Why do we form towns, cities? Why do we do this? Well, the pure reason is we can't survive by ourselves. Humans can't flourish by themselves. Okay, so why is that? Well, we all had breakfast this morning, right? So none of us here are farmers, right? So none of us here have a supply chain. You've all needed healthcare your time in your past. I had knee surgery. I can't perform knee surgery on myself, right? We've all been educated, but we're not teachers. So we need this community. And what we need is what's called the common good. The common good is, in short, food, healthcare, education, and safety. We all need those things, but we by ourselves can't provide those things. So we need to come together in a community. And we need those things, but we don't need them for free, but we need access. And what justice is, you guys, is being able to reach in and go, I need food today. I'll pay for it, but I need food and I've got access to it. I need healthcare, not free. Healthcare is never free, you guys. But you reach in, you can get it. All right. I need safety. I got police, I got safety, and I got education. Not free, but I can get it. And that's justice, and that's the common good. My friends, where that breaks down is injustice, is where people can't reach in and get those things. And there are people in your communities, you may not see them, or they may be obviously seen in very impoverished communities, but they're all around us where people can't get health care. There are people that don't, food deserts where they cannot get access to food. There are people that can't get education, and that's injustice. And in a great society like ours, and I mean that worldwide, not just America, not just Tennessee, not just Missouri, but there are many places where there's 2 Americas and maybe even 3 Americas and maybe even 4, but there's parts of our society that people don't have access to those things. And I think that's freaking wrong because we have that stuff. And just because certain people don't have access to it doesn't make it right. We need to work, and that's the force for good. And it's simple. You guys, we talk about these impoverished areas. It's too hard to figure out how do I solve it? No, it's not hard. It's moving those things to those people and giving them access. And that's what the force for good is. And that's where I challenge, all of you to say, what parts of my community don't have access to education? How can we, in your organization, go solve that? There are people that don't have access to food. How can we solve that? Because there's food all around us, there's education all around us, there's police all around us, there's healthcare all around us. But all we have to do is be a force for good, motivate ourselves and our employees and our organization to say, we can fix that one little part. And you fix that one little part, then that one little part can do it on their own and they can work on others. And it becomes a wave where we can solve America's problem, but I know none of us can solve America's problem unless we solve our own, and we all do and feel like this is a force for good.
So,
Okay, ladies. I'm sorry it went over our 2 o'clock amount, but we had to tell you about WIC Week. So our next thing is we are going to do door prizes. Tiffany Wondrow bought 3 books from him so that we could present them. So Ashley has been so gracious to do the random picker. And let me see.
I got a wheel of names going. All right, you ready?
Go.
Christy Robertson.
Yay. All right. Who gets?
Yay, Christy!
Yay.
All right, next one. Kayla White.
Nice.
Hey, thanks.
Congrats.
And last, Nicole Jenkins.
Woo-hoo.
Woo!
Well, thank you, ladies. I hope you got a lot out of what he said. I found it very interesting, and I'm buying the book. I was waiting for the name picker to see if it picked me, but thank you, ladies, for jumping on today and in the middle of the weather and everything else we have going on. It just makes me smile that these bunch of women can still get together and build each other up and share things. And I am so excited to see the random acts of kindness that are going across for Wick Week. It's going to be great. So, ladies, have a good rest of your day. I'm off to go do billings. Have a,
Thank you.
you're so welcome. And hope to see you soon in person. Have a good one, ladies.